Before we begin today's service, we acknowledge that the Unitarian Church of Montpelier is located on unceded Western Abenaki land. We honor, recognize, and respect these peoples as the native stewards of the lands and waters on which we gather. In that same spirit, we will respect, protect, and be good stewards of this land for as long as we walk upon it. Good morning. I'm Jennifer Roberts, your worship associate this morning, and on behalf of the entire worship team, I am delighted to welcome all of you, those here with us in the sanctuary and those watching the live stream. For nearly 160 years, for over 160 years, actually, this church has been a sanctuary for those seeking spiritual sustenance as well as peace and justice in the world. With you, we continue on that path today. Whether you are a newcomer, a longtime member, or somewhere in between, you are part of our community, and we are so glad you are here. If you are a newcomer and wish to do so, we invite you to stand or wave your hand so that we may offer you a special welcome. Oh, welcome. Wow, I love it. Thank you, everyone. We're so glad you're here. You are also invited to fill out our welcome form available at the hospitality table in the vestry so that we may connect with you and welcome you more fully. Now let's all join in the welcoming. Please take a few moments to turn to one of your neighbors and share a greeting. Push it away. No, I just pushed it away. I knew it was too close. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing those warm greetings. We invite you to continue your conversations after the service at coffee hour. Please note, we have hearing assist devices on the table in the rear of the sanctuary. You can also listen to and watch the service downstairs from the fireplace room should you need to leave the sanctuary at any time. A member of our lay pastoral care ministry team will be available in the fireplace room after the service. If you have a personal concern that you wish to share, please seek out today's lay pastoral caregiver, Denise Bailey, who is right here. Thank you, Denise. We'd like to offer special gratitude today to Maggie Neal, whose beautiful silks have adorned our walls so beautifully all month. And now, let us take a deep breath, make sure our cell phones are silenced, and enter more deeply into our time of worship. And here to introduce us to the shofar is Steve Finner.
Good morning. People of all faiths are familiar with calls to worship, either in calling them, as you hear, it took me hours to get that cue, or as part of their worship. You have just heard the bells in the steeple. Muslim clergy go to the minarets of the mosque and cry out that it is time to worship or to face Mecca and pray. Jews hear the call of the shofar, especially during high holy days which began last Saturday and which will end with Yom Kippur on Thursday, which will be a day of fasting and a day of worship. Traditionally, the shofar has been made from ram's horns. However, centuries of objections have been filed by the rams. And so now, most shofars are made from a composite which mimics the composition of the ram's horn quite accurately. We don't refer to playing the shofar, we only refer to blowing it. That's the reason. If any of you wish to try blowing it after the service, I brought alcohol wipes for the mouthpiece. We can go outside and you are welcome to try. Or we can blow it in the vestry and close down coffee hour. I am now going to blow the traditional call to worship that ends the Rosh Hashanah service, which is the Jewish New Year. I have selected this not for any liturgical reason, but because it's the easiest one to blow.
Our call to worship words this morning are written by Gretchen Haley. We are keepers of hope, holders of memory, storytellers and song weavers, pulling on this thread of truth, this other march of history that might otherwise fail to find its footing. That life is filled with kindness, that life is filled with bold beauty, courageous compassion, sacrifice for the common good, and a wide willingness to embrace neighbor and stranger as kin. We are here to do the work of hope, remembering the past, remembering ourselves, imagining our most possible future for this life that teeters too often on the edge of forgetting we belong to each other. Bring all you are, every shadow and every light, every hope and every fear for this radiant hour. Come, let us be hope for each other. Come, let us worship together. And let us join our voices together in song for our opening hymn. We Are a Gentle, Angry People, number 170 in the gray hymnal. Please rise in body or spirit.
Singing
Let us now light the chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. This morning, we welcome the Saliani Southwell family to light the chalice. They are not easy. There we go. We light this flame, an enduring symbol of our collective commitment to lead with truth and compassion. Please join now in saying our congregational covenant. We covenant to speak honestly and listen deeply to each other and the voice within. Treat each other with compassion and honor our differences. Take responsibility for the impact our words, actions, and inactions have on each other. Support each other in times of need and of grief, and celebrate the beauty and joy in our lives. Honor the gifts of the past and be gentle with each other as we grow. Encourage each other in the brave work of creating a more beloved community and a healthy, sustainable world. And forgive each other and start again.
It is time for our Time for All Ages this morning, and I'd like to invite up any of our younger ones, their adults, and anyone else who might like to come forward to hear the story I have to share. You can come on up to the chancel. Morning, Genevieve. I love that we have the full range and interpretations of young ones this morning. I love it. We can be young in body, mind, spirit, or heart. I love it. It's great to see everyone this morning. I have a story to share with you, and it's actually a true story. And it takes place many years ago, about 170 years ago, actually, in the days before the Civil War. And that happened a long time ago, right? So this happened way back then, and it's a story about a boy named Theodore Parker. Does anyone recognize that name? Maybe some of the, great, Lucy recognizes? A different Theodore than Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, but that is another Theodore who is really important in history, for sure. Yeah. This Theodore Parker grew up in Massachusetts, near Boston, and the reason I think some of the adults, a few people, raised their hand that they had heard this name is that Theodore would later grow up to be a Unitarian minister, and he wrote a book about his life. And in that book, Theodore tells a story of when he was a child, maybe 4 or 5 years old. I think we have maybe some 4 or 5-year-olds present. Anyone fit that category? 4, maybe 5, or close to it? See one hand over there. Well, Theodore, when he was 4, maybe 5, he was living on a farm, and one day during the summertime, he was walking through the fields, and he just had this stick in his hand. You know, we like to walk with sticks sometimes. And he was swinging his stick through the tall grass of the field. And he was walking along, and he stopped at a creek to watch the bubbling of the water in the creek. And then he noticed a turtle sunning itself in the creek. Have you ever seen a turtle in a creek just kind of hanging out? Yeah. So Theodore was passing by with his stick and saw this turtle. Now, Theodore had seen other children that he knew who used sticks like that to sometimes strike at turtles and other animals. It's not a kind thing to do, but it was what some children thought was fun, just like even some kids today might like to bully others or hit those who are weaker than themselves. And often, children and even grown-ups like to copy what they see other people doing, right? They see someone bigger than themselves and stronger and want to do what they're doing. Well, young Theodore, he did want to be like these other older children around him. So he was swinging his stick. He saw this turtle, and he raised his stick into the air, aiming it, preparing to knock this turtle into the water. But then something stopped him. Something didn't seem right about that situation to him, to have his stick way up high, looking down on this turtle. And he looked again at the turtle, just quiet, peaceful on this creek, enjoying that summer day, feeling the warmth and the light of the sun, just like he liked to do. And he thought, had this turtle ever done anything to me, to harm me? Was the turtle that different than me? And so he slowly lowered his stick. He walked home, thinking about what had happened. And when he arrived home, his mother was there to greet him, and he told her about what had happened. She listened carefully to him, and especially carefully when he talked about feeling some strange force inside of him that had stopped him from hitting this little animal. Theodore, she said, that voice inside of you was your conscience. Always pay attention to it. Always follow what your conscience tells you. She said, it's your moral compass that points you in the right direction. And if you honor your conscience, you'll never go wrong in this world. Now, Theodore Parker grew up to become one of the greatest Unitarian ministers of our history. He was a hero in the fight to end slavery in our country. He fought for women's equality and the right to vote for women. And he did all of this because he felt a sense of kinship with all of creation, all of the animals on the earth, all people of all genders and races who he believed were holy and sacred. And it all started for him one summer day when he was just a child who saw a turtle and felt a deep connection with that being and decided to do what was right. So I hope that you'll be thinking about who you are connected to, all the different people and even animals that we're connected to, and all the ways that we can treat each other with respect and compassion. Thank you all for listening to this story about Theodore Parker. And if you'll just stay right here for a moment, those children and youth who are in our spiritual exploration program, and Jen is going to tell us what comes next.
Today, our children and youth will be participating in our first Love in Action Sunday. This is a day where children from across our spiritual exploration program will come together to participate in a small, hands-on service project, putting our UU values into practice. This week, they will be digging up flower beds outside the church, potting the flowers, and giving the flowers out to the congregation after service as a way to practice kinship, care, and connectedness with our community. Parents and caregivers, you are welcome to join in the fun. If your child is not registered for spiritual exploration, please come with them and fill out the registration form. Then you are welcome to stay with them or return to the service. And pickup today will be outside immediately following the service. Please make sure you sign your child out. Everyone, you're invited to pick a flower for your family on your way home today. There will be tables by the Main Street and School Street exits for you to take one with you. Susan Koch will lead the children out today, where you will all head to the vestry together before going outside. Now we will sing the children and youth out as they go. It is a joy to be part of such an active and engaged community. I mean, have you read the latest e-news conveniently delivered to your email inbox every Friday morning? I hope so, because there is a lot going on, as usual. Here are just a few highlights. This is the final day to complete the Adult Spiritual Exploration Survey. Paper copies of the survey are available at the hospitality table. Your input would be greatly appreciated. Also, there's still room in a small group ministry chalice circle, which will begin this week. The group meets the first and third Thursdays at 6:30 here at UCM for 8 sessions, beginning on October 2nd. Interested participants may sign up at the hospitality table or by contacting one of the group facilitators, Dan or friend, and Marianne Ludlow. In 2 weeks, UCM will host the Reverend Fred Small as our guest preacher. Reverend Small will also be leading a workshop on spiritual support for climate activism. Please visit the Climate Action bulletin board downstairs to learn more. We will now hear more about the UCM Care Fund from Vari Paget.
I almost got flattened in the crosswalk this morning coming to church, and she's trying not to electrocute me. Or maybe trying to, who knows. Good morning, I'm Vari Paget. In the weekly e-news, as Jen mentioned, it describes this month's topic as kinship. Among the things in there, it talks about connections being build belonging and the root of our commitments to protect and care for each other. It also asks us how we discover and deepen our sense of kinship. One way this church has chosen to protect and care for one another is through the Care Fund, which Liz Benjamin and I helped Joan administer. It's a sad reality that in today's environment, families in our area are struggling. Many of our neighbors and friends are food and housing insecure or both, while others have to choose between paying for heat, light, or medical care. This is where the Care Fund can provide a small amount of comfort and relief. So what does the Care Fund do? Well, during the time that I've helped administer the fund, we've covered up to 3 days of motel stays for folks who have run out of eligibility, covered a portion of electric or phone bills for families that received cutoff notices, covered partial rent for a single mother whose work was cut to half-time until she began a new full-time job. We've also paid for food for a couple who chose to keep a motel roof over their head rather than buy groceries, and to mount winter tires for a woman caring for her handicapped mother. For financial context, over the past church year, the fund paid out over $3,000 to 18 recipients. By the end of August, there was about $2,000 remaining in the fund. Had been, at the end of the church year, there had been $2,000, and by the end of August, that was depleted completely. And we actually had to turn down one request for help. We've mowed up some ground since then, but with winter closing in, further cuts to government safety nets seeming inevitable, and inflation infecting food, housing, medical, and utility costs, we expect increased demand on our resources. Your financial support of the Care Fund is one way to deepen our sense of kinship. Although this is the last Sunday in September for pouch eligibility, gifts can always be made on the website, where the Care Fund is the first item on the drop-down menu. Small gifts do add up, and all are appreciated. I'm also going to risk incurring Joan's wrath by talking about another way we can care for one another and deepen our kinship through a church-supported activity, bake. I regularly bake for the Monday lunch program, and I checked the October schedule this morning, and only one person is signed up for the 3 times 5 weeks, whatever that is, 15 slots of baking this month. I will sign up, but I wanted to wait and see if anybody else did. You can provide a breakfast treat, which can be a dozen muffins, small coffee cake, and for those who are baking challenged, fruit or even donut holes. For lunch, you can do 2 or 3 dozen cookies or a 9 by 13 pan of brownies or blondies. For those of you with children and grandchildren, it can be a once-a-month fun activity and a teaching moment at a small cost of time and ingredients. Speak to Janet at coffee hour for more information.
Our giving is a spiritual act, and our generosity is a form of love and gratitude that helps us to practice Unitarian Universalism in support of our shared values with our collective resources. Giving is central to the well-being of our church community and beyond, as well as as primary to our own sense of self. Each month, the UCM Community Pouch Program, we share part of our collection with an important church fund or community organization. This month's pouch recipient, as you just heard from Vari, is the UCM Care Fund. Half of our cash offering today will go to the Care Fund. The other half will directly support the mission and ministry of this congregation. If you wish to designate your entire offering to the Care Fund, please indicate that with a note attached to your cash or a memo line of your check. Checks will go to the church unless designated otherwise. You can find offering pouches at the end of the pews and on the side aisles. Please pass them toward the center aisle. We are so grateful to each of you for your generosity in its many forms. Your offering will now be gratefully received. Composer John Harrison, who lives in Plainfield, conceived of today's choir offering, I'll Carry You, while he and his wife Scotty were babysitting their new grandson on July 10th, 2024. What began as a sweet song for their grandson soon developed added dimensions as the floodwaters rose and decimated sections of their town. Afterwards, the people of Plainfield, who hadn't necessarily known each other before nor shared the same viewpoints, came together to assist and support each other in mutual expression of care and community. And just a little plug, you're invited back this afternoon at 4 o'clock. There will be a concert of all of John Harrison's compositions.
Thank you, choir. And I offer thanks as well to all of you for your financial gifts so generously offered this morning. Those gifts are received with the deepest gratitude for the difference that they make for one another in this community and in our broader world. Thank you. And I invite us now to join in a time of meditation and prayer together. This is a time to tune into the condition of our hearts and spirits, allowing yourself to just settle in here, in this quiet and still moment. Acknowledging all that you carry with you into this time of worship. The busy mind, the worried mind, the grief, the heartache. Acknowledging all that is carried and allowing that weight, that burden, to roll off, even if just for a moment. Letting it go, letting it be carried in this community of care and love. As we continue this time of meditation, I invite you to bring your voice into this time as we sing a meditation together. We begin again in love. This meditation acknowledges our aspirations to be our best selves, and that when we fall short of these aspirations, we can begin again. If you'd like the music, you can find it in the Teal hymnal, number 1037. I will speak the words of the meditation. You're invited to sing the refrain. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For remaining silent when a single voice would have made a difference. For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible. For each time we have struck out in anger without just cause. For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others. For the selfishness that sets us apart and alone. For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit. for losing sight of our unity. For those and for so many acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness. And let us share now in a time of quiet meditation together. This is the poem entitled Paul Robeson by Gwendolyn Brooks. That time we all heard it, cool and clear, cutting across the hot grit of the day, the major voice, the adult voice foregoing rolling river, foregoing tearful tale of bale and barge and other symptoms of an old despond. Warning in music words, devout and large, that we are each other's harvest. We are each other's business. We are each other's magnitude and bond. My brothers and I didn't always get along well when we were growing up. I'm the middle child and the only girl in the family. And sometimes it would be my brothers who would team up on me, but often it was my older brother and I who, like hungry lions, would smell the weakness of our younger sibling and pounce on him with our biting words, sometimes our wrestle holds. And I don't share this to condone our behavior in any way, but it's an honest portrayal of our sibling relationship at one point in time. Despite this, I, of course, loved and still love my younger brother very much. One day, when we were in the 6th and 3rd grades, or thereabouts, we were outside of our elementary school, and I noticed that one of my brother's classmates was teasing him.
Instinctively, I felt the heat of anger rise in my body and the urge to protect my brother and stand by his side. I don't remember exactly what I said to his classmate, but the essential message was back off. Now, one could say this was a natural, genetically programmed impulse to protect my sibling, my kin, from harm because we are connected by blood, after all. But over time, my sense of who is kin has grown, as has that sense of wanting to stand with others who are being bullied or attacked for who they are, or who are being pushed down by the weight of an oppressive economic system, or whose rights are being denied and trampled upon. And in turn, I have wanted others to stand with me. I know that this expansive notion of kinship, kinship that goes beyond blood and family, is motivating for so many of you as well. It is what leads you to reach out a helping hand to neighbors in need, to bake for the community lunch, to support the food pantry, to volunteer at the emergency winter shelter, to choose careers teaching, healing, and serving the public good. There is so much good that can come from recognizing our kinship with others. But I will admit that expanding my own sense of kinship has not always been easy. One of the greatest tests of my expanding notion of kinship has come through my activism in the movements for workers' rights, immigrant justice, reproductive justice, racial justice, gender protections. We are constantly faced with opponents. Those people and those institutions who have created the injustices that we are fighting against, or who create obstacles to achieving the justice we seek. These opponents have seemed to me to be the opposite of kin at times. In the past, I had moments when I felt almost no sense of connection or belonging with those who I have witnessed disparaging immigrants, opposing minimum wage increases, or arguing against abortion and reproductive care access. It was easy to accept this distance and sense of alienation when my opponents were far away, not real people who I had to interact with in any kind of intimate way, but just names in the news or profiles on social media. In more recent years, the opposition has come closer to home in my personal circles of family and friends. Also, living in a small community as we do, a so-called opponent on an issue could turn out to be a neighbor, or a friend of a friend, or another parent in my child's school. Someone I might consider an opponent could also be someone I actually have to live in community with. I've also had to reckon with the universalist strand of our theological roots, which emphatically asserts that no one is left out of God's expansive love, and that nothing we could ever say or do would, in the end, keep us from belonging within that circle of love. Those are some challenging theological claims to hold. It turns out that love is actually quite demanding of us, even and especially when that love includes the people we see as the opposition. In times of high political stakes, like the moment that we're in, you may have thought, or maybe even feel now, something along these lines. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. Hey, that's a natural and honest feeling when one is so locked in opposition, in a feeling of it's them versus us or them versus me. Hate and enmity are emotions that can and do arise, especially if we're feeling threatened or when we've been harmed. Those exact words, I hate my opponent and I don't want the best for them, were spoken by Donald Trump at the memorial for Charlie Kirk, the slain conservative Christian founder of Turning Point USA, last week. Regardless of one's political orientation, it is the norm and increasingly acceptable to hate one's opponent and to not only not want the best for them, but to even wish them harm. This is a dangerous feeling. We have witnessed where hate and enmity can lead. And yet, the hurt and the anger are real. I know that those feelings of hurt and anger are present right here, right now. I have felt them myself, especially in recent days. The question for us is, how can we direct this anger in ways that lead to a just and peaceful world? How can we use this anger to bring about a world not defined by exclusion, but by kinship, a world of belonging for all? In her book, See No Stranger, Valerie Kaur lays out an approach to centering what she calls revolutionary love. Kaur's approach is based in the tenets of the Sikh religion, S-I-K-H, a religion she was raised in, and the ideal in that religion of the Sant Sipahi, the warrior sage, the warrior who fights and the sage who loves. Kaur teaches us how to love ourselves, how to love others, and how to love our opponents. In her vision of revolutionary love, our opponents are not left out. Instead, she suggests a three-part approach to loving our opponents, beginning with giving space for our rage in safe containers so that we can tend our wounds, and then listening to understand the wounds of our opponents, and finally gaining the information needed to reimagine solutions. She states, the aim of divine rage is not vengeance, but to reorder the world. I find this distinction so helpful in its clarity and its groundedness in a moral vision. Divine rage is not hostile or antagonistic. It does not seek retribution. Divine rage seeks a world reordered by love. A reordering of the world, which I believe is needed, must be based in an inclusive and demanding love. A reordering of the world that's centered in love cannot include a repetition of harmful supremacist beliefs and practices that exclude some in order to prop up a few. A reordering of the world centered in love cannot be based on the othering, exclusion, or dehumanization of any group. In a reordered world, the recognition of our kinship is a recognition of our shared humanity. This is a world in which we all belong, friends and foes, the righteous and the meek, the sinner and the saint. At the same time, it is not a world in which we ignore the harm that is done to us or that we do to one another. Kinship also includes accountability. For all of us to belong, we must also be able to name wrongdoing, hold ourselves and one another accountable for that wrongdoing, and stay in touch with our shared humanity. I was thinking about this recently when I saw a short news clip. Someone who lives in Texas was being interviewed by a journalist, and this man had recently taken in 3 children, the 3 children of a family, a friend, a woman from Honduras with a legal work visa who had been deported, leaving her children orphaned in the United States. In the interview, this man, they live in Texas, said that he had voted for Donald Trump and that he felt tricked, that he had no idea, would never have believed that his friend would have been taken out of this country and he would be left to be the guardian for her children. In the comments, this was a social media post, you might imagine some of the comments, some of the anger, some of the "I told you so," some of the "how could you not have known?" Just fair to feel that way. And yet, in what kind of world can we all belong, not just with those children and that mother, but that man too? When we ask another person to really see us and to respect us, when we go out into the streets demanding dignity and justice, when we refuse to be silent, when we are mistreated, we are saying we all belong. John A. Powell describes belonging in this way. Belonging means having the right to make demands on systems and structures. Belonging is being respected as an equal human being with full dignity. Belonging is not just asking for us to be afforded the dignity and the voice that we all as humans inherently deserve. Belonging means we must also accept all others in the same way and afford them their dignity and voice. When we all belong, we can demand that we are treated with full dignity and respect, and we must be willing to extend that same dignity to all others. I know that this is a tall order, and the examples we have of people who have been able to hold these tensions and complexities are not many. Yet I believe this is what love calls us to do. Love calls us to hold on to a vision of this reordered world, even while we may still be a long way off from getting there. In this world, the words of Gwendolyn Brooks would ring true. We are each other's harvest. We are each other's business. We are each other's magnitude and bond. Let us continue building this world of love and belonging. And when it is difficult, when we are weary, may we find strength and courage in one another. So may it be. We'll join now in singing our closing hymn, We Will Carry Each Other by Sara and Austin Field. This is a new song. There's a printout of it in your pews if you want to follow along with the music. The words will also be projected up front. Please rise in body or spirit.
I am Lord, your shelter.
As we draw our service to a close, we extinguish the chalice and carry within each of us its healing flame, the warmth of community, and the spark of hope into the days and the week ahead. Please join now in our unison mission statement. We welcome all as we build a loving community to nurture each person's spiritual journey, serve human need, and protect the earth,
Our home. May you go carried by the courage and strength you find in one another, held by a love that knows no bounds. May you go in peace and return again in love. And we conclude our service with the postlude.